Chilliwack's Most Shocking Award for 2022 in the real estate category goes to detached houses on Fairfield Island. So in January and February of 2022, you probably remember that Fairfield Island became one of the hotbeds of the Chilliwack real estate market, with prices on BC boxes rising up into the $1.2, $1.3, $1.4 million range. Now today, those are trading way lower. So we've seen a huge price correction on those. Now we're seeing them around the 800s, representing maybe a $400,000 to $500,000 price change from the peak of the market to the end of the year. That's why I've awarded it the most shocking of 2022 in real estate. And now we're gonna head into January of 2023's market update. Let's start off with a review of what happened in the 2022 market. So first off, for average sales prices from the very peak up in January, February of 2022 to where we ended the year, we are sitting about 27% down on average price and about 30% down on median price. On detached homes, again, those average prices were up around $1,077,000 in January, February, and in December, we're seeing those average prices around $751,000. Another interesting stat is days on market. So days on market at the beginning of the year in January, February was about 7-8 days on market. Now at the end of the year, we're up to 37 days on market. Don't forget that only is counting homes that actually sold. That doesn't count all the homes that are sitting on market way longer that are not selling. Something else that we saw in 2022 was a number of collapsed sales on leasehold properties. So these were pre-sale properties. The properties hadn't been finished building yet, but they were sold in January, February of 2022. Then when the buyer came to completion or got closer to completion and tried to get the financing, they weren't able to get the financing anymore because the interest rates had gone up so much that they couldn't qualify to purchase that home anymore. Either that or they just weren't interested in completing anymore because the value of the home had come down. So interesting seeing a bunch of those in 2022. Last month in December, we saw a particularly low number of sales. It's 124 home sales, but we also only saw 138 new listings come on the market last month, which is not that far off from 124. So that kind of put us in balanced market territory technically, but it still feels very much like buyer's market out there. I wouldn't say this is very balanced feeling at all. It still feels like the buyers have the upper hand. As we head into January, it's always typical to see inventory rise, more sellers wanting to sell their homes. But this year, just from my conversations around the office and as well as conversations I've had with people, there seems to be more sellers that are chomping at the bit to get their houses on the market before the spring market. And what does that mean for you? Let's start with sellers first. For sellers, I really want to focus on two things. First off, you got your BC assessment in the mail or you found your BC assessment online. Those numbers are not representing the actual market value of your home. Those were assessed last July, and those numbers are not accurate. So in some cases, we're seeing those $150,000, $200,000 higher than what the home actually sells for. I looked at some recent sales and then looked at the assessed value in those homes. They were about $150,000, $200,000 off on detached homes. So don't rely on those for the true value of your home. You're gonna wanna talk to an agent to get the real value. And number two is increased competition for you sellers. So as we head into the spring market, expect to see more homes coming online, and that means buyers have more to choose from. So make sure that your home is priced sharply, and don't just price it and leave it there. You need to be working with an agent who's actually watching the market, paying attention to solds, upcoming data, anything that's changing in the market, and informing you so that you can make decisions on whether you should be reducing the price as you go along. Also, make sure that your home is getting marketed to the max. It needs to be in the spotlight. It needs to be standing ahead above the rest. You need to be showing everyone out there how amazing your home is. So just a few pictures online is not going to get it done in 2021. That may have worked in the beginning of last year. It may have worked in 2023. It's not going to work for you. You need to be maximizing the marketing on your home and get it in front of as many eyeballs as possible. And now for buyers, I got to say to start off that I really sympathize with you guys on the interest rates because they are brutal and they're really affecting affordability. But along with those higher rates comes lower prices. So it's putting downward pressure on home prices. As we head into the spring market here, I expect to see a lot of new inventory, so you're gonna have a lot more to choose from going into the spring market. And on the issue of rising interest rates, I've actually spoken with a number of mortgage professionals. So what they're actually recommending to their buyers is that they go into a 2 or 3 year term on their mortgage instead of a 5-year term. So at that higher rate, you're gonna be paying that higher rate for the next 2 or 3 years. Then when you come up time to refinance and remortgage yourself in 2 or 3 years at the end of your term, it's likely that interest rates will be lower at that point, and then you'll be refinancing. Your payments will come down. You will have enjoyed that lower purchase price, and then your rates will be down in 2 or 3 years. I hope this month's market update was helpful for you. I'd love to hear what you think of the market. Just comment down below. Make sure that you're subscribing and following my pages so you can catch all my future market updates and market information.